Welcome to #Rising Artists, a series where we introduce you to brand new artists. Who knows, they might end up on your playlist. I'm your host, Taylor Oren. Let's get started, shall we?
My name is Andrea Levesque. I am the person behind Atlantic Canyons. I am a musician. In past careers, I was also an engineer, a lawyer. I'm also a mom. I have 2 little girls, although they're not so little now. Yeah, and I'm on a journey right now, and Atlantic Canyons is my new journey.
Ooh, got so many things on your belt. Being a mother, having all these past career options. How's the adventure moving forward into more music realm?
It's exciting because music is something that I always wanted to pursue full time. But a lot of things kind of got in the way with that. Like I had a lot of family pressure, not to go into music as a career. And then, I tried to kind of keep it up on the side for a really, really long time. And then, once I hit motherhood, that kind of went away for a while. And so I feel like everything's starting to come back now. This time that we had, last year at the beginning of, COVID hitting the US, when everything kind of got shut down, like the whole world slowed down. And it ended up being a positive for me in the sense that it showed me how much time I was spending just running around, just doing stuff and not really thinking about like the quality of it. And when I had that chance to think about it, I realized, and that extra time, to do things that I really care about, I was able to take better care of myself. And that includes, creativity and exploring music, and being able to do that. I just kind of built upon that. And then kind of Atlantic Canyons was born out of that.
Gosh.
So yeah.
With the pandemic on itself, shutting down completely everything around you, and was there any kind of feeling that you were like, should I be trying this new thing out while in the midst of a pandemic of crazy? Am I going to still have my normal job back to back with also taking care of your kids?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really bad. Like when it comes to making big decisions, I hate having to make big decisions, and I'm really indecisive. So for me, it kind of happened organically because
Okay.
I don't think I could have ever been like, okay, here we go. I think, even before the pandemic began, I started to kind of strip away a little bit of the things in my life that were really kind of things that I felt like obligated to do, but that were kind of I don't know, just bringing me down, on the inside, just trying to make other people happy, in different ways, doing different things in different ways to make other people happy. And there were a couple of other things that happened, like my mom had an accident, and I had to kind of stop everything that I was doing and spend, over a month, helping to take care of her. And then so over time, kind of things stripped away, and then COVID would probably be like the giant straw that broke the camel's back, that kind of made me realize, like, I feel like the universe was telling me to kind of reprioritize things. And so it was kind of like slow, and it happened in steps. I think in the beginning of the pandemic, everybody was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? What do we do? We were all kind of adapting to that. So it actually took me a few months.
Okay.
And then even then I still kind of ignored that like creative need. So I think the catalyst, I can't take credit for like, making the affirmative decision, because what the odd thing that happened was like I kept hearing this song in my head and I ignored it for a while. I was like, oh, whatever, it's a nice song, and it just kept coming back.
Oh gosh.
in my head, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should write this down. Maybe I should try to record this. And because of the whole like doing the music on the side, and I've been doing this for a really long time, the whole music on the side thing. you know, I already had some experience with like recording and, you know, composition and stuff. So I was like, okay, all right, let's do this. We'll sit down and record this. And a little while later, like maybe like a few weeks later, I had a completed song. And I was just like, oh, wow, you know, this is nice. Like, I'm proud of this. But like, then I was like, but what do I do with it? Like, you know, I live in rural New Hampshire, like in the wood, like, you know, like
I know.
cows and farms and stuff like that. And I, you know, the social circle that I have now is very different from like that cool, fun band scene I had in the city back in the day, because I used to live in Philadelphia and, you know, playing
Ooh,
bands in Philly and you know, and that when you're in a major city and you're in the music scene, like it's great, like you get to meet people and stuff. Like I didn't have that, you know. The closest city is Boston, which isn't that far away, but like, you know, I've got these little girls, like I can't go like on a Wednesday night, stay out
oh
until
yeah.
3 a.m. and like meet people and like, you know, like want to be in a band, you know, kind of. So like that wasn't an option for me. So then once I finished the song, I was just like, okay, what do I do? Like, do I share it with someone? I don't have any music friends now. Like they're all kind of gone, you know?
Yeah.
We all kind of like moved our separate ways and stuff. And so I ended up moving online. And the thing that was really cool was, and this didn't even happen until not even a year ago. So it really picked up in October of last
Ooh,
year. Yeah,
okay.
I joined a music community. I was actually thinking about this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, today is September 29th. And a year ago today, I still wasn't aware of this music community. You know, I still didn't have any music friends. All I had was this song that I didn't know what to do with. So eventually, like come early October, I discovered this really cool community, and where you get to share your music and people are genuinely interested in each other. And I went on there and someone asked me, hey, do you have something you want to share? And I was like, yeah. And I put it out there and people listened to it and they were really nice and like, you know, said nice things about it. And one person even privately reached out to me in a DM like, hey, like if you ever need any help, let me know. I love your song and I'd love to help you out. And so that was kind of like the start of like dozens of friendships. So I've made, you know, tons and tons of friends. And you know, I had written song and recorded songs in the past, but I had never taken on like a project, Atlantic Canyons. I had never, you know, even thought about doing an album, releasing an album, or, you know, really putting myself out there. It was really just kind of like, I'm going to make this and put it on my shelf and no one else will see it. And it'll be nice for me to look at, you know? So not too many people even knew that I did music. And, so this kind of opened up the world for me. And I think that happened a lot for people during this time period because there was nowhere to go. You know, people weren't going out, people weren't socializing. So even like, you know, I'm in kind of a slightly older demographic, but, you know, even the younger groups of people that you would normally see at those venues, like at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday night, like those people were stuck inside too. So we were like, the playing field just kind of leveled out and we were all together online. And so that's kind of like, you know, meeting all those people and just kind of like, hey, you can do this. I can't do that. I can do this. Can I help you with that? And then eventually I was able to put together all these songs. I had help from some other, you know, musicians who were like, well, I can play this part for you if you want, you know. I got like help with mixing and mastering and encouragement of all things. Like, you know, people were like, this is really cool. You can totally do it. You can totally, you know, release that EP. You should do it. And so like with that much support, like how can you not do something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, that was like part of the journey. There was something else I wanted to say that I realized recently, but if it'll pop up in the middle of you talking and then I'll rudely interrupt you. And
if you do that, let me just make a random just to be like, yes, here it is.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I found it. I remembered. Oh my gosh, I love that that you found this community of people just wanting to help each other out. That's one of the powerful things about the internet that we have this capability of doing that, especially since everyone's not doing anything.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then as I'm reading the notes, I see, you know, like was it the OKGO drummer Dan joined in and helped? Like, wow, how's it like working with him?
Cool. Oh, that he's really cool and just really nice and fast and like easy to communicate with. In fact, he was so fast that like we didn't even spend that much time. Like
Really?
you know, there was not much back and forth. I think it only took like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days. But like I've been such a fan of theirs, and he had reached out and was like, hey, you know, if you're interested, I can do it. And I was like, yeah. And I like deliberately went out of my way not to fangirl out, you know, and like nerd out and be like, oh my God. I was just like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, really I would try my hardest not to fangirl either, because like the band itself is so crazy and talented at the same time. So just to be able to have that ability to work with someone like that, that's awesome. I'm so excited for you on that.
Yeah.
But it's not just him, it's everybody, which I love that idea. And which will lead me into the whole idea of what is Atlantic Canyons?
So Atlantic Canyons is, it's my project. So, you know, I work with a lot of people. I help people help me. But in the end, like Atlantic Canyons like boils down to me, you know, just getting and, you know, kind of getting input from other people. But the fun part is that those other people have their own individual projects. And so we're kind of like all, you know, helping each other and stuff. But Atlantic Canyons is, you know, I had always wanted to have a band. I'd always wanted to release music. I never thought that I could, which is why, you know, I say that like, you know, the idea of being able to do this wasn't really something that I thought was real. And I just thought, gosh, it would be really cool if I had my own moniker, you know, my own thing that represented me. And I'm like I said before, like I'm really bad at making decisions. So even picking like a band name or an artist name was going to be hard for me. But for Atlantic Canyons, like it actually wasn't that hard, because I knew I wanted the word Atlantic in it. And that has to do with like, I just have this, I have grown up along the East Coast, you know, my whole life, US East Coast. I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, and then like slowly kind of made my way up the East Coast. And now here I am like up in New Hampshire, which actually has coastline. and like, you know, having just kind of been along the coast my whole life and always having like the best memories of my whole life have always been like on the ocean or at the beach, like near the water. That has always given me a sense of calm and peace. And I felt like, you know, Atlantic kind of covers that part, that happiness, that, you know, peacefulness. And then, you know, it also kind of touches on me. And then I recently found out, like, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, that there are actually underwater canyons in the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah.
I have no clue about that.
And these, I know, right? Like, who knew that there were canyons? So there are these canyons, and they're big. They're like bigger than the Grand Canyons, and all sorts of cool, like, life, you know, sea life lives there. And so I thought, wow, what a cool name, Atlantic Canyons. And I just feel like, oh, and the other thing is, like, I learned more about the canyons. So there's multiple canyons, which is why there's an S in. And one of the canyons is named after Norfolk, Virginia, which is where I was born. And then there's like Baltimore Canyon and like a bunch of other canyons. So I just thought, wow, you know, I think that if there's anything that's like associated with me, I feel like that is something that I can feel a connection with. And I'm super bad about, like, you know, identifying myself and being like, okay, what am I connected to? Like, I can't, like, in New Hampshire, like, vanity license plates are super cheap. So like everyone has them, but I still have like the generic, like, you know, 3 number, because like, I'm like, well, what should it be? Like, I don't know what my vanity plate should be, or like a tattoo. Like, I have no tattoos because I wouldn't even know what to pick, you know, like to commit to. so like for me to be able to say, yeah, I feel connected to this. This identifies me. I feel like, you know, like I feel a relationship with that. That's pretty strong. It's pretty good.
Yeah, wow. It's kind of like as if a digital tattoo technically on
Yeah,
your you can get away with saying it's
exactly.
like it's a digital tattoo of yourself in
Yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
you know, I love the idea that you bring up the Atlantic Canyon like underwater aspect because going into your music, I felt that kind of like dreamy underwater, not saying like mermaid realm, but kind of in that like feels calm but has those bits of emotion that kind of ruffles a little bit just like the waves. So
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. You made me so happy. Like that's exactly what I mean, I'd love to hear that. Like that's great. Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the feel that I'm trying to get out. And actually like if you look at the album art, I don't know if you were able to see
yeah,
the album art. It's,
I'm
you know,
glad to.
it's got this girl who it's not me. But you know, I definitely identify with this girl, and she's like seated in a position where like she's laying down, and she's laying down in a way that looks quite comfortable. Like she seems like at ease, like very comfortable and content where she is, but she's also like really, really deep under the water.
Yeah, she's
So
chilling.
she's just chilling, you know?
Chilling under the sea. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and I felt like, you know, that really matched up well with kind of what I was trying to get across with the music as well. Like that feeling of like, you know, I'm under the water, it's dark. I'm actually quite comfortable here.
So the title of this album is called See the Hues. It does fit perfectly with this whole album entirely.
Thank
With
you.
with that whole like underwater feeling. I'm curious how you get that idea, the inspiration for the title.
So See the Hue is the first song is also called See the Hue,
Yeah.
which is the album. I named it after that song. And then that song was named See the Hue because there's a lyric in the song where I say, pretty wonderful to see the hue, pretty wonderful to be with you. And what I'm saying is just like, I'm just kind of talking about or describing that happy feeling, you know, like I said, these feelings of like happiness and nostalgia and calm, peace, being by the ocean or even like under the water, that, you know, you see the hues of blue. Like when you look out into the ocean, you see the sky is blue, and then you see the ocean and you see different colors of blue. And so that's kind of where it came from. And I just thought, okay, that's the name. That's what it's going to be.
How's it like with your kids being in the room while you're recording, or do you have them off to
Oh
the
no.
side?
They are not in the room when I record. I can't do that because like it's hard to get like enough quiet. Like even my computer itself, like you know how when your computer's like working really hard, it starts to go.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My
And,
laptop right now is a prime example. I can definitely hear
yeah,
that.
yeah. So my computer does that, and like you know, it's quiet down here. I'm actually in a basement, and even when that happens, like the microphone will pick that up. So usually when I'm doing recording, like I don't, they're not in it unless we're just goofing off and like recording them for fun or whatever. Yeah.
So these conversation cards, I have red or black. The black ones are more risque.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, why don't we start off with a red and then we can do a black one
All
after
right.
that.
All right, let's see. Okay.
Unless the
All right.
reds are like super risque and it's like
No,
times like 10 on the
okay. So the black ones are going to be more risque towards times 10. The red ones are more like thoughtful and well, you know what? Here, I'll give you the first one. What is a dream you've let go of?
Oh, that I've let go of. Wow. Okay. Do you probably get people always being like, "Oh, that's a good question," and then like they pause for like, and I'm no different from anyone else. A dream that I've honestly, I thought music was a dream I had let go of. I thought, but it turns out I was wrong, and I'm so glad for that. Um, Wow, I don't sound very ambitious if I'm like, oh, I haven't.
No, it's all good.
Um,
It's good. And the idea, the fact that you did go back to a dream and be able to rehatch that and be able to work on it. And now it's an actual physical thing.
yeah, if you had asked me like what was a dream that you postponed, then I would have like the perfect answer for you.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I have one.
Ooh,
Yay.
all right.
So I actually love comedy. And I mean, there were times when I was a kid that like I was like, I want to be a comedian, like totally want to
Oh,
be a comedian.
yes.
And I actually like took some comedy classes and, kind of participated in these like comedy groups and stuff. And, did my little thing of like stand up and stuff. And yeah, that's kind of a dream that I've given up. Like I haven't like pursued any more stand up comedy. I would, it's just that like there's only so many hours in the day and like
Oh, yeah.
you want to pick and choose, and like if I had to choose between music and comedy, like music wins every single time. But I still love comedy and I love to watch comedians and go see like live comics, like comedy hour, go into Boston and see that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, while we're on this topic, because I purely just watched a stand-up show last Friday. What was their last comedian that you watched?
Oh my God, it's been a long time. So because I gave up that dream.
It could be a special.
Yeah. So my daughter, who's getting older, is like getting into like she loves comedy too, and so we have to kind of find cleaner comedians. So why is his name not coming to my head? He's the one that like has like 5 kids and he's like Catholic and he jokes about hot pockets.
Oh, wait.
Good Lord, what is his name? Why can't I
Is
think
it
of it?
Bert or is it no? Wait,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
No.
I'm like, I have to search on my phone.
Is it like his last name's like Mulligan or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm going through my list in my head. I'm like, all right. Because like I think, was it Jim that has a podcast? No, it was Bert. Bert. Okay, I can't pronounce his last name. That has a podcast, but I couldn't remember which one had how many kids. But that's awesome.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan, and then like we were going through Jim Gaffigan and Brian Regan, and she's been enjoying that. Yeah, a lot. It's been good.
Gosh, honestly, I'm on the same boat because I used to do. This is back when I attempted to use Tinder. I went on these like random horrible dates, and then a friend of mine was like, "Hey, why don't you go do this comedy show with me?"
Gold right there.
Oh my gosh, I did 2 like open mic days. It was but those were like the ones where you had to like pay to play. Like, oh yeah,
really?
yes. So they're like, hey, for $100 you can go on stage for 15 minutes. Oh, but the rule is you have to stay for the whole entire show. You can't just leave. And I'm like, but is there drinks included? No.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Are you serious? $100 for 15 minutes?
Yes. It was $100 for 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, but like, what's it going to go towards? But at the time it was going towards like renovation for the building.
Oh, okay.
Like this building had some history, and I'm like, okay, fine. I did it only once there and then free this other time, purely because I had some like built up frustration of a guy that I was like, all right, I'm gonna tell this guy I like him.
That's great.
And then I see him with this girl and I'm like, oh damn, I'm at this concert too. I remember going to the restroom going like, shit, I was about to do this. Oh no. And then I look over to the right and I find out there's a live comedy show, open bar, whatnot. And the guy was like, here is a beer. If you want to go on stage, go for it. We're just kind of having fun. Spilled my beans out to this guy about the whole situation, only to find out he's upstairs watching the whole thing. And I'm like, great. And I'm like, I just remember ending it going, all right, so as you guys can see up there, that's the guy I'm referring to. I'm gonna go die now. See you later. Left the venue, completely drove off, blocked him on everything just in case.
Yeah.
Confrontation.
Like he doesn't exist anymore. Like
Yeah. Why stop
have you seen the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Yes. Yes, I love that series.
Yes, and like that kind of, well, what you described kind of reminded me a little bit of like the very beginning, the first episode of the first season, where like, you know, she's kind of like had this relationship thing and she's like completely wasted and she just wanders on stage.
Yeah, it was almost pretty much like that too, because like I guess the main act didn't show up that day, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go over here, take a look at it, what's going on. And the guy was like, oh, we're having open mic, and I'm like, okay, cool, here's a beer. All right, do you want to go? Yes. Yes, I will.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's really cool because like it took me a lot of courage to like, you know, do my first open mic, and like it wasn't just like, here, have a beer, you want to go up? Like you just wander in. Like, you know, I was like thinking about it all day. That's impressive.
And it was just kind of like the pieces were all put together. I already had the frustration of like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now in front of me. I need to do something about it, but I don't want to like yell at this guy. I don't want to like get me embarrassed by it, because like he's with what I thought was hoping that he was going to be over there photographing the band and the artists over there doing his own thing. I didn't expect him to be walking around, so I was like, all right, this is my time to vent, and then I can leave and no one's going to know who I am. This is a venue I've never been to, so I was like, it's great, perfect spot. And I was just a quick vent, leave. That was a mission. Didn't expect the intrusion, and then it was like, oh shit, everything's going down. But I stopped doing it because of that embarrassment, because I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be around here somewhere, and he's gonna pop up and be like, I know what you did. I don't like that. You know that you and I are never going to be together. And I'm gonna be like, I'm aware of that. That's why I vented. Why else would I have done it?
But you know, there's like some sort of like, it's like therapeutic, like there's some catharsis in getting it out, and like comedy is definitely a form of expression where you can get out the things that are like, you know, building up in here. It's like awesome. And I did this, you know, that's how I felt. Like I did one stand up with my comedy group, and where everybody's like super supportive, like, and I talked about kind of like the frustrations of, you know, motherhood. And what was really great, because everybody, you know, brought friends and family, and it was just so great that to see people kind of like nodding their heads and smiling and laughing, like, yeah, like I've been there too. I know what that feels like. And when you get that, when you in real time, like while you're on stage talking, you can see people reacting like in a very empathetic way. You know what I mean? Like, not like, oh, I empathize with you, but like, ha ha ha, oh my God, that's me too. When you see that, you're just like, I feel seen, you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. So I don't remember if anyone laughed the first time around for that first bit. But I think it was purely because of the idea of this was you had to pay to play kind of thing. So everyone was just like, okay, cool, great, you did a good job, you're up there. Yeah. But the second time around, me being like completely just like, just complaining about it, I definitely heard some laughter, but then my mind was just like, oh no. So everything just blinked out.
Yeah. Well, it didn't follow you, right? That was like kind of the end of it.
Yeah. Luckily, gosh, I know I saw him at a venue, but he did not recognize, he didn't come up to me or anything. So I'm like, good, stay there. Don't do anything. I'm just gonna quickly photograph and leave.
Yeah.
But might have, I don't know how I'm going to cut this scene out. This is fun. This whole bit is so much fun, but I'm also terrified, like, once again, that he's going to find this video. Yes.
And he's going to be like, talking about me again.
She's talking about me. And then I'm just going to see the one comment on YouTube being like, so you're going to discuss about this again?
Well, I don't know. I mean, screw this guy.
Here, let's see. All right. What title would you give this chapter in your life?
Ooh. First thing that pops into my head, the open door. Like I feel like a new door has opened, and I know that's probably not like the most clever answer, but
It's
yeah,
cute. It's cute. I love that.
yeah. Like I do feel like it's been seriously, it's been everything has exceeded my expectations in so many different ways. Like for example, the album has had success on college radio. I just got an email today that like it's now number 115 on the top 200.
Ooh.
Yeah, and last week I actually fell down in the top 200. Like I kind of went down in rank, so I just figured I would fall out. So I just figured this week I would have fallen off the chart and not even be on it. And then I just found out that like now I climbed higher than I originally started at. So like now I'm at like 115. So I'm just like, whoa, like I didn't even expect anything.
Yeah.
And like here I am. And then just like someone heard my song and reached out to me privately on Instagram and said the nicest thing. Like a complete stranger just reached out to me. I don't think she realizes like how much she made my month. But she said something like, hey, I heard your song, See the Hue, on my local radio station. And I just wanted to tell you, like, thank you for making such beautiful sounds, or something like that. And I was just like, oh my God, like somebody listened to the song, was like, hey, this is cool. Like, who is this? Like figured out who it was. And then was like, oh, I'm going to send her a message, like that means so much to me. And then the other thing is like, we talked about how like the EP was not something that I thought would ever be a reality. Well, playing live, I thought was never going to be reality. Cause like, yeah, it's me writing all of the music. Like, these are Atlantic Canyon songs, but like, how am I supposed to play this all by myself? You know what I mean? And, like I just found out that I didn't just find out, but like over the summer, my daughter's friend's dad, he was a drummer. He's like an amazing drummer, and he's got like a lot of like live performance experience and recording experience. Like, and we just got connected. And then like, I just happened to be hanging around, at open mics, and I met another guy who's like the most incredible guitarist. And then online I met a bassist, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a band. We have a band. Like
so exciting.
Yeah. And so now we're working on this. And this is interesting because, and from my experience and their experience, like we've never had a situation where like the album comes first and then the band has to translate that album into a live show. And and that's exactly what we're doing. And it's really cool because like we're kind of working together as a team to kind of figure this out together, which has been so great. I already know that I love these guys, and like we're gonna do well together because we work so well together. But like, the idea of like all of this just kind of like, it almost feels like it fell into my lap. Like this, this door just opened like wide open. I didn't even know it was a door. It was like a hidden panel in the side of a room. Like
you just opened up the one bookshelf. You just grab the one book
like,
out of there.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter, where like like this magical thing just opens up or something.
Yeah,
I've been watching Harry Potter too. I think this is my daughters. But yeah, but about the album thing, like. Usually bands write the album together and record it together, and then they perform it together. So that's all that work's been done. And so we're kind of playing catch up, and we're planning on hopefully having the live set ready for, spring of next year. Like a polished live set, we'll probably play out before then, but in places where we hope like nobody like really sees us actually kind of thing. But yeah, like, so it really is, it's not even like open door, it's like secret passageway, like opening up that I didn't even know about.
It's the green curtains behind in Wizard of Oz where you reveal the wizard and you're like, wow. Oh, wow, it's there.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like, I love that just everything fell in your lap and just been like, oh, wow, now I actually have everything here. Yeah. Wow.
I feel so lucky. Yeah, I do. I feel so lucky. Like I I don't think I could have deliberately made this happen. You know what I mean? Like,
And then we'll do one fun black one.
okay, cool.
What's a compliment you wish you received more frequently?
Oh, wow. Trying to think. A compliment. I I I get, in the context of mom, like my kids are so sweet. Like I get compliments from them all the time. They're
Oh,
like they're like my cheering squad. They're always like, like, you're a good mom, I love you, and like, I really like your music, and stuff. Like, I don't know if they're like trying to get something from me, like they have an ulterior motive, but they're always like giving me the best compliments. From other people, I I recently, I guess, like the best compliment, the most memorable compliment that I've gotten, and that I would love to hear more. Now I've totally forgotten your question. It's that I would like to hear more often.
yes.
Okay, all right, good. Then it is. Then I did answer correctly. I am answering correctly. Someone complimented my voice, and that meant a lot to me. Like the way they complimented my voice was kind of like describing the way my vocals sound, and it was like it felt really good. And so yeah, that would be nice if I could hear that. Hear compliments like that.
Well, I love that. It's actually very cute and personal at the same time. Wow. Here. Okay. So now we're gonna do some fun questions.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm gonna figure out which fun question should I do. These are like a strange, like weird ones, but I'm gonna try to like tame them down. Let's do here. We'll do this fun one. What would you not want to find in your kid's lunchbox on the first day of school? I changed that a bit, just a bit.
There's lots of things I would not want to find in their lunchbox, like live animals, insects. I don't know. Yeah. Feces. Just pick one. Those are the things that I would not want to find. Vomit, I wouldn't want to find.
Oh, yeah, no, that would take forever to clean. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing, just kind of like public service announcements for people who are thinking about having kids. Make sure that you are comfortable with vomit, comfortable with feces,
God.
comfortable with urine. What else? Comfortable not sleeping. Yeah, just make sure you're good with those.
You know what? I think there's a reason why I don't have kids. Yeah. And there's my 13 reason why. Yeah. No, one day, just outside of the US, maybe. All right. So we did briefly talk about being an idea of being the comedian at a point. I'm gonna change this question just a little bit. So if you were a comedian, what would be your entrance / exit music?
Oh, the theme song from Sanford and Son. Do you know that?
Ooh, I don't think I do. Oh my.
It's like do 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 do. It's like, it's kind of pokey, and that'd be me.
That would be a cute one. Oh, I love that.
Check it out. Like, I bet you search it on YouTube, you can probably find the introduction to Sanford and Son on there.
Stanford and Son?
Yeah, it's Sanford and Son.
Oh, Sanford.
Sanford and Son. Yeah.
Ooh,
it was like I think it was a TV show in the 70s.
Okay.
Probably.
I'll have to double check. Well, I'll definitely put that on the list of things I need to check out after this, as well as making sure that I don't have any people looking at my YouTube channel that may have seen my comedy show. Okay, we're gonna do one more and then we'll kind of like wrap it up.
Sounds good.
If a Labrador was a human, if a Labrador Retriever was a human, what job would you give him?
A Labrador Retriever. Oh, they're so sweet. And so happy. I would like definitely like front facing person. Like I would probably have them like I'm trying to think of this in terms of my music career. Like I would have them network, like help like promote me and network for me, because they would just be like, it's so nice to meet you. Like you seem like such a cool person. Like, and like I work for this person and I really love her music. And like I think you'll like it too. And you just seem so cool. You know, like I think a Labrador Retriever would do that.
Oh, he was the cutest little PR rep. Oh,
Yeah.
that was so cute. I love that. I like that idea. Oh, it's so cute. Well, this is the part of the show where I get to tell you, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, Bandcamp, and Facebook, but I'm most active on Instagram. If anyone's ever interested in buying a copy of the CD of See the Hue, Bandcamp is the way to go. Listening, obviously Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Pandora, I think, Amazon, Google Play, like all the typical streaming services. Also on YouTube, like if you don't feel like subscribing to a service, you can just go straight on YouTube and I'm there.
Awesome.
But of course, if you search for just Atlantic Canyons, you will find, before me, you'll find information about underwater, like subterranean canyons.
Ooh, so technically you could watch that first and then go to your music and be able to be like, oh yeah, I can definitely understand why she went that route.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.